Welcome back to the Conor McGilligan channel. Welcome for
it's nice, Conor. Nice. Welcome, Conor. Hello there, John.
Nice to meet you,
This is a friendly place.
This, if you haven't seen it before, this is Jimmy from Blaze Rabble, Sheffield United channel, and we've got Joe from Turfcast Podcast, a Burnley fan channel. We are going to be talking today about the biggest club in the Championship. We've got obviously a Sheffield United fan, Burnley fan here. There, I would, to be honest, lads, I'd bring 4 clubs, and it's like this is awful for these two.
No,
I would bring probably 4 clubs, maybe 5 to the party.
we're back to the entitlement conversation.
Yes. Success brings.
I thought you were Mr. Tumble on this channel.
Tumble.
Mr. Tumble.
What's that?
Ooh.
But Leeds, I'd probably put up there. Sunderland.
Shock.
That's probably a bit of a conversation. But what I would say as well, Sheffield Wednesday have an argument up there, and Blackburn definitely have an argument up there.
I don't think any of them two.
No, me neither.
I think that you could probably put them both in the top 6, but I don't think any of them have an argument to be the top club. It's between Leeds and Sunderland.
Okay.
They're the only two that you really need to debate.
Right. Okay.
In my opinion.
So why would you not put, for instance, Sheffield Wednesday?
Why would you put them in?
I think they've got more major titles than Leeds and Sunderland.
Have they?
Yeah.
Leeds have only won it 3 times.
More so, yeah. First division we've only won 3 times. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, but obviously they've had success, haven't they, in the 80s? I think FA Cup in the FA Cup. But yeah, I think Sheffield Wednesday, when you're looking at it, they've got titles, big fan base. I mean, what is a big club? You know, what is a big club? Is it honours? Is it fan base? Is it global appeal? What is it?
It's a mixture of them all. I think.
Yeah.
A lot of fans.
History does play.
A lot of fans fall into the trap of, attendances only matter.
Yeah,
they don't at all. Like Coventry fans suddenly think they're massive because they get 25, 30k on. Where were they 5 years ago?
Yeah, exactly right.
So Coventry can't call themselves a big club. I don't know the honours list of Coventry, so apologies if I'm wrong, but I don't think they've really won more.
What about stadium?
Stadium
Makes an impact, like historical stadiums. You know, you've seen that comes into it with a big club as well. So then we're looking at Sheffield Wednesday, probably Hills.
Part of your heritage, isn't it, as a club?
Yeah. I'm a little bit unsure then when you ask that question. But when you frame it and say Hillsborough obviously used to host, FA Cup semi-finals and stuff regularly.
Yeah.
And obviously, Villa Park as well. Obviously, that's another one in there as well. But then obviously you've got clubs, I think, like your Spurses and stuff, and not that they're obviously in this debate, but who then create new stadiums. So then does that just eradicate that completely?
I think the big thing with Sheffield Wednesday, sort of where I would maybe put them,
they're rotting as a club,
and I'd agree. This is kind of where I'm going to go with it. I think in that top 2 conversation, probably Leeds and Sunderland. I think where Sheffield Wednesday falls short is the fact that they've not been in the Premier League since 2000. I think when you look at that 25 years, that kind of takes you out of it. We're struggling towards the back end of that as well. I think you do have to look at that. But, you look at silverware, more silverware than Leeds United. So it's one of those things, really. But Sheffield Wednesday, I'd probably pull out of the conversation maybe based on that. Do you think that's fair?
Yeah.
But like Portsmouth have won the FA Cup in recent years and spent more time in Premier League than Leeds. Does that make them a bigger club?
Won the League Cup as well.
Yeah. Bradford City got to an FA Cup final.
Would you honestly think that was no, but
it's not all. It's got to go on. I think recent history has to play a part as well. And Sheffield Wednesday haven't done anything for 25 years.
Okay, Blackburn Rovers won a title in 1995.
Yeah, bought title in 1995.
Won a title in 1995.
They were the original Man City.
3 English league titles, 6 FA Cups.
But how far back do you want to go? I think 3 or 4 of them FA Cups, and I'm not clued up on Blackburn's honours. I think they're all in the 1800s. So again, how far back do you want to go with?
It's 30 years since they won Premier League.
Then we have a conversation. About Sunderland as well, because Sunderland have won 6 titles, but a lot of them, I think the last title they won, top title, was in 1936.
Okay.
So then
they win. Yeah.
So then what do we do? Do we just eradicate from sort of like the 1800s into early 1900s? Because that gets rid of a lot of teams that you spoke about, Preston and stuff like Huddersfield before. Does that get rid of all their titles? Like, it kind of depends.
Leicester a bigger club than Leeds.
I wouldn't say so personally, but maybe there's a little bit of bias there.
So there's, when did they win title? 5-6 years ago, Premier League title.
So what are you saying then?
So you can't just go on one category.
Okay,
so
what categories do you comprise then?
Like justice, it's got to be an amalgamation of them all, really, and it is all subjective.
Of course,
it's very subjective.
Yeah.
I think Sheffield Wednesday are a big club, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but I don't think they... You said it yourself, growing up, you're, 31? I can't believe you're that young, actually, but 31, and all you've known is a red half of Sheffield, really, in terms of success.
Yeah.
Because Sheffield Wednesday, since you were 6, haven't been in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So that is where we are. So there's, it's one of them things, really. When I was growing up, Leeds and Huddersfield were big rivals, and now it's Man United. We're chasing Man United. It's our big rivals. It was, yeah, sure.
I always remember Leeds and Bradford back in days. More than Leeds and Huddersfield.
Valley Parade, getting tonked at Valley Parade, weren't you?
So we were in the Premier League for those years, and we were rivals with Huddersfield and Bradford over Man United. Right,
there you are. Bradford were at Premier League same sort of time.
I think you sort of look at Sheffield Wednesday, and we talk about sleeping giants, this, that, and the other. For me, right now, it's almost them being the forgotten giants. I think it's 25 years outside the Premier League.
I think they're the definition of a sleeping giant, a club that was good back in the long time ago, admittedly, who can be massive again if they were backed properly.
They're a dead giant. That's what they are.
But again, that just goes back to the point that if they were brought back to life by a good owner, they could potentially...
No, Viva Chansiri.
Viva Venkis as well, by the way.
There you go.
So I guess when you're looking at Sunderland is the next one in the conversation right now.
Big club. Biggest club in league.
Okay, fair enough. So that's the conversation, I guess. But, massive club Sunderland. I would probably say between Leeds and Sunderland right now, when we're looking at history, we're looking at fan base.
I agree.
We're looking at recency in the Premier League. Sunderland, I think last time they were in there was 2017, I think, which is maybe a bit of a problem with them.
It fell a little bit further as well.
Yeah, when you're talking about relevance. Similar periods in League One, Leeds and Sunderland as well.
They've had more longevity in League than Leeds, haven't they? In Premier League than Leeds, I think. They were in there a lot longer.
Yeah, but I would say with Leeds, we were in Europe for a lot longer. And they were. But no,
all joking aside, I think it's minimal, the difference between the two sides. And as a Leeds fan, you're going to lean slightly more towards Leeds because you have had more successful honours, if you like, in recent times in terms of flirting with Europe and going for it as a club, really, let's be right.
Yeah.
They've sort of had a resurgence in recent times. I think nobody really expected them to be where they are this season. They've sort of outperformed where they were expected to be, got themselves a good manager and a really clever recruitment strategy. So they've been sensible and smart with it, if you like. But I don't think there's much in it between the two clubs in terms of the size, if I'm honest. They've obviously got the bigger stadium. Does that lean itself to a better atmosphere than Elland Road? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
Does atmosphere come into the debate, though? That's a different debate. Does atmosphere matter in big league to do it?
I think it can do, yes.
Yeah. See, I would.
Well, that's us knackered.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we haven't been great this season, but I think we're nervous, and that comes back to being, worrying.
Yeah, I think the atmosphere at the stadium can be quite toxic. I think that's a problem.
Can with Leeds.
True.
And I think that's what comes with big clubs. I think it does get toxic and nervy quite quickly. We talk about Leeds all the time. We talk about bottle Leeds are falling apart again. Sunderland have always had that similar thing as well. You saw it with the Netflix documentary. They could just never get over the line. There was so much pressure on Sunderland. It's a big club. But I think probably recency in Europe, European pedigree, first division titles, obviously first division title you remember in 1992. You'll have been about, 42?
25 though.
And look, I just think it's more recency with success with Leeds. I think Sunderland, you have to go a little bit further back. What I would say is I think they're the best supported team in the country with what Sunderland is. Sunderland, a small city, the numbers they get is phenomenal. I've always believed that. They're, the number...
Very strong support.
Yeah, Newcastle, bigger place as well. Leeds dwarfs Sunderland in terms of the city. With the numbers they get is staggering, so you've got to put a lot of respect on the name, really. But let us know, everybody, in the comment section below, what you think. I'd probably go... I mean, if it was a 4, if you're looking at Leeds, Sunderland, Blackburn and Sheffield Wednesday, what would you go sort of least to most?
What do you think I'd go with?
So you go Sheffield Wednesday at the bottom?
Right down here.
So you probably go Sheffield Wednesday, Blackburn... you'd go Leeds and Sunderland. That's how you'd go.
So I'm interchangeable between top two.
Okay. Joe, what would you go for, mate?
Blackburn bottom, obviously. But
you wouldn't know, would you?
I would.
Nah.
Look at what they've done over the entire history of the both clubs. I think Sheffield Wednesday again, I'm not clued up on... I probably should have researched this. I'm not clued up on Blackburn's title. You can look at the Premier League in 1995, which they bought, and you can look at the Worthington Cup in, 1999, 2000.
Yeah.
Sheffield Wednesday have done more than that.
FA Cup league titles, they have Sheffield Wednesday.
Let's
Granddad were a lad, maybe.
Let's look at the attendances as well. one of the worst followed clubs in the Championship, Blackburn. But it's a bigger town. Admittedly, it's a town, and Sheffield's quite a big city, so they do have that.
Club city, that.
Yeah, true. But
No,
look at their attendances. Look, their attendances are shocking. They struggle to get 10k. Like genuinely, not that long ago, I live near a cricket team called Lower House. They had one bonfire night. Right, this is when Blackburn were in League One, right? And there was more people at Lower House bonfire than what there were at Ewood Park that night. Their attendances are shocking. You can't include them in the conversation when they get 6,000 on.
So she's 4, 3, 2, 1 then, Joe? Gee, that's crop all that.
You keep it all in. Blackburn, Sheffield Wednesday. Then, same as Jimmy, I'm interchangeable between the two. I think if you look at the last 10, 15 years, it's Leeds. If you look at entire history, it's probably Sunderland. So I'd probably just edge Sunderland.
Okay. Let us know in the comment section below what you think, everybody. See you in a bit.
All the blades.
You can't do it on this channel. You've got to say up the Jimmy.
Yeah, the Jimmy. No, you're not supposed to say that.